Hey, you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from my bunker, 2,988 miles beneath the crust of the earth. And you know what? I'll admit something. When I've claimed that this bunker lies somewhere in the center of the earth, I have been somewhat misleading. Actually, this is the basement of my house. The bunker is a basement in the house. Some people have asked over the years, what is that really a bunker, or is that just your basement? And then I get confused. I'm like, well, what's the difference between a basement and a bunker? What causes a basement to become a bunker? And also, to be 100% honest, this isn't even really a basement, because that over there, see that mermaid, that is actually the mermaid sideshow banner. That's actually a window. So it's, oh yeah, you can see the other window right there as well. So I'm not technically in a bunker. I'm in a basement with a window. So I don't even know if that makes it a basement. I think my understanding was that this area that I'm in currently, I think this used to be a garage for this old house, but they covered it up, made it into a little room, an awkwardly shaped room that's too awkwardly shaped to set up a proper living room. So when we moved into this house, it's been, I don't even remember what year it was, to be honest. It's been at least 6, 7, maybe 8 years ago. These are things that I should remember, but I don't. We moved in, me, my ex-wife Christy, and my daughter Anna moved into this house. And you know, I had previously at our last house, I had used a little used an extra bedroom to set up like a corner in the extra bedroom where I could film videos, because that's actually something I wanted to do, you know, making this channel. I didn't want to just do vlogs. I didn't want to just do travel vlogs. I wanted to do some video essays where I could talk, show pictures, show video while I discussed a subject. And if you go back in this channel, you'll find different attempts at that here and there. Actually, my very first, I'm trying to think what the actual first, but one of my first videos was a video essay on Harrison Mays, which I don't think I actually appear in the video. It's just my voice. And that's actually kind of what it's really what I wanted the channel to be, you know, me discussing things. It wasn't going to be about me, my personal travels or my personal life. It was just going to be about the stuff I loved. Of course, it's evolved into something greatly different. And I've always had a hard time with the video essays. My editing skills are garbage, and that's why I kind of stick with a very minimalistic editing style. But I've made a few attempts, and I don't know. I just feel like they don't look good. I'm a big fan of watching other people's video essays, and the ones that I've put together, they have such a lower quality of look than other people's, that I've kind of been staying in my lane and making more of the vlogs, because that seems to be what I know how to do and what people enjoy watching on this channel. But anyways, let's talk about the bunker here. So I did want an area so I could do videos where I just discuss topics. So I made a little corner in the extra bedroom. When we moved into this house, I wanted to have a place to set up as the bunker. So I went over here, and yeah, originally this whole room was not the bunker as I call it now. This is the original bunker, this closet back here. Let's step in the closet. This is a little 360 It's bigger than a phone booth, but it was a place where I could sit, where I could display things, stickers, posters, things I found along my travels. And honestly, it's kind of funny. This is an extension also of my old office at work when I worked in CPS. I started bringing in just fun stuff. I'd hang postcards on the wall. I would actually put my first piece of taxidermy there, that squirrel. I put her in my office at work. A lot of people I work with, they liked it. They liked the creativity. They liked that I made my office a fun office. Some people didn't like it. Some people, I guess, felt, given the nature of the work, Child Protective Services, that I should be more serious, that I worked for the government. And that's even what Christy told me. She said, you're not allowed to have a personality if you work for the government. But I stuck with it. Like, even though I know it irritated people, no one ever actually asked me to not have all that stuff in my office. Sometimes you get weird comments, but it made me happy. And I felt like it made me more efficient. And I read a study once that you actually do work more efficiently when you're surrounded by things that you love, things that comfort you. And that's what I did. So yeah, so when I moved to a new office, there was more restrictions on what you could do. They didn't want you pounding nails into the wall. My old office, it was such an old building that no one cared about. I just hammer nails in the wall and just stick up whatever. But they didn't want you sticking things to the wall. They didn't want you taping things to the wall. They didn't want you nailing things to the wall. If you wanted a nail so you could hang a photograph or something in your office, you had to put in like an official work order and have maintenance come and drill a hole into your head. And that was like for one. So I was, I decided to stop pushing my luck. And that kind of transferred. So my old office kind of transferred here into the closet of the bunker. We still actually tried to use this area as more of like a getaway, a quiet space. Sometimes we actually used this area to foster some kittens at various points while we lived here. But yeah, but my bunker spilled forth from that closet and ended up consuming the whole room. And this has kind of always been my space in the house. My my ex-wife, Christy, she had a different sense of taste, a different sense of style than me, and she didn't want stuff like this in the main house where her family and friends could see it. So, the agreement was pretty much I could do whatever I want with this area down here, and I never made many suggestions on what we would put in the main house. I kind of left that up to her. And things are going to be changing because, like I said, I was coming down here to North Carolina to take care of business. And today I signed all the paperwork for my new mortgage. They called it a closing. And really all it was just going and signing paperwork. I have been in the process of getting a new mortgage. And really, I did not have to do much work because Jen works in mortgage and she understood this so much better than me. So I pretty much gave her the reins and let her handle the mortgage. So this house that I am sitting in, this house is in my name alone. So I am a homeowner. I mean, technically I was always a homeowner because my name was always on the mortgage, but now I'm the sole responsible party for this house. I'm the only person that owns this house. Christy is still living here right now, but she has begun the process. So she has found a house. She is in the middle of purchasing a new home that she will be moving to. And we kind of decided, we kind of back and forth, but we decided that Annabelle is going to college at the end of the summer, and we decided to leave things just as they are, as they sit here, here at the house until then. So Christy will be here until Anna goes off to college at the end of the summer. And at that point, it is mine to do what I want with it. I could go buy 12 dogs and just let them run loose in the house. I could take a jackhammer and just jackhammer secret holes in all the walls that I could crawl through. I could set the house on fire if I wanted to. Actually, that might be illegal. I don't think you're allowed to just burn your own house down for funsies. I think that may be a public nuisance. But the point I'm trying to get across is that I own this house. This is my house now. Jen is going to be moving in by November. That's when her lease ends on her current house. So be transitioning her to be living down here with me. And yeah, so I don't know. Like, it's kind of intimidating. I know, of course, you know, me and Jen have decided that we're going to make this a space for both of us. So it's not going to be like, you know, one person, you know, picks how the house is designed and all that. So I've been saving up. I've been stocking up on some stuff because I got excited that I would have the whole house to myself. So I don't know. Is the whole house going to become a bunker? I don't know. We definitely need, Jen needs space for her toy collection. She has a massive collection of toys that needs to be able to have a space beyond display where people can see it. But yeah, a lot of questions like what to do with the house. I think Christy's gonna take all the furniture, so I'm gonna start over from zero with furniture, buy all the furniture I like. So I don't know, I could buy any furniture I want. I could buy one of those chairs that's made out of horns. That would be fun. That would be fun. We could definitely put my own spin on things. Yeah, I've got some stuff here in the corner, just various things that I don't have room for down here. That kind of be figuring out where to put once the house is free and clear for me to run wild in. Here's the Carpetbagger Library here. You have some Ripley's Believe It or Not books there. Some Weird USA books. So much good stuff in these. I found so many good things in these. This is Dixie Before Disney. This is by Tim Hollis. And Tim Hollis is an author who writes about old roadside attractions and things like that. He knows more about roadside attractions than I do, so much more. He is pretty much consider him to be the authority on roadside attractions and history, especially of the South. This book is about all the southern roadside attractions before Disney World was built in Florida. And this is my Bible. Like, this book is a large part of the reason that this channel even exists. The Roadside America, of course, now they have a website, but originally they wrote books. I would sit literally on a nightly basis, just sit through and read through different places. Some of them gone now, and most of them I've visited. I'm looking at the cover of this book, and I visited everything on the cover here. The Jimmy Carter Peanut, the Weeki Wachee Mermaids, the giant muskie there, the talking Paul Bunyan in Minnesota, south of the border, the Jimmy Carter Peanut, and then Carhenge there at the bottom. So one time, I would sit and I would dream. I literally would dream reading this book that I could go to these places. I could do a few here and there, but funds were limited. I didn't have as much, didn't have a lot of money to travel. But so I'd sit and dream someday that I'd be at these places, and just looking at, I'm almost getting kind of emotional just looking at the cover here and realizing that I've been to, obviously not every place in this book, but like all these major ones on the cover, I've been to every one of those. And that's wow, it just makes me think back. Here's the Dinosaur Kingdom 2 comic book that explains the story behind Dinosaur Kingdom 2. I was there recently for Easter. It's got a signed copy signed by Mark Klein there. Yeah, Mark Klein is a guy who does a lot of things. He makes fiberglass. He runs his own amusement park, and he makes these comics. Well, this is Funnies from the Morgue, another anthology by Mark Klein. And last time I was here, we had a little accident with the Pixie. We call him Dan Barry, I think is the name. We decided on him because he came from the Dan Barry Fair. But he fell down because he's very heavy. He's very awkward. He stands on like one toe, and his arms stretch out like 8 feet. So he actually had a tumble, fell down, and unfortunately, he broke his neck. So I will have to maybe repair this at some point. But in the meantime, I bought him a scarf here. It's a nice Krampus scarf to not only cover up his broken neck, but help, you know, help him keep warm in the icy winter months. Here's some stuff I ordered. I've been ordering a lot of like posters and pictures to hang up. Of course, you know, right now I just use pins to put them in the wall. I know it's probably better to find frames to hang these up. Frames are always such a hassle to me. You got to find the right size. Usually the frame costs more than the poster, and then you got to screw it into the wall, make sure that it's lined up and straight. It's a huge hassle. So much easier to just put tacks in the wall. But I don't know. I may, as I spread these out through the house, I may match them up with some frames. But yeah, I actually got some. This is some art that I bought here. This is from an artist named Gato Gomez. I saw some of these on Instagram, and I had to have them. They do these dark rides. These are dark rides that I've been to. This is the haunted house in Ocean City, Maryland. I got the big one of that, and then I bought. They only had the smaller prints for these other. This is Spookorama from Coney Island. One of the first scary dark rides I ever went on. Oh, are these upside down? That is Laughland, one of the oldest, most old school dark rides. That's in New York. It's almost completely in the dark except for a few effects, and then they have like weird sound effects and stuff like that. A really unique piece of history there. And then that is the Wacky Shack from Waldameer, another one of the most old school. This is the purest form of the Bill Tracy dark ride that still exists. Then the Haunted Mansion from Rehoboth Beach, another. Oh, this is so good. It's so good. These are thinking about these dark rides makes me happy. Here's the haunted house in Camden Park in West Virginia, and and then this. I just saw this and I liked it. It's like two Yetis hanging out in front of a mid-century treehouse. But yeah, I wanted to have like hang up the dark ride art. Maybe find somewhere to hang them all up together. Also signed up for the Moldville Mold of the Month Club, and they'll send out a mold every month, or I guess they're sending out 2 molds every 2 months. But the theme is they have molds that are altered to reflect fictional places. This says the Black Pearl on it, the pirate ship in black. This robot says Orbit City, and I actually had to look that up. That's actually the city where the Jetsons takes place. It says the year in the back is 2062, and yeah, the robot, one of my favorite molds, just in general. So yeah, add those to the massive collection of Moldoramas. Someone just stuck some Christmas decorations down here. I don't know who did that. But yeah, my collection of molds, I've tried to narrow it down where there's only one of each shape, but as you can see, it's gotten huge. This box here is just duplicates that I don't have room for. So Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to rethink how I want to display my Mold-A-Rama collection as well. Yeah, I have a bunch of projects I've been wanting to work on that I've been put off over the past year and a half. Like, I wanted to get this my animatronic squirrel working. Its gears are all old and locked up, so I'm meaning to try some things to try to get him animated again and finally see what exactly a squirrel with an electrical plug in it, see what this thing actually does. You know what? Let's get out of the bunker for a little bit. Let's go for a walk. This is the park I would always come down to kind of walk, relax, try to clear my mind. Of course, I haven't had a chance to do that in probably over a year. This was kind of like my decompression area, but because of all the travels, it's kind of been a long time since I've been here. Always have a fond place in my heart for this type of playground equipment. The animals here that you bounce on. Of course, you don't see these very much anymore. I think this generally falls along the lines of playground equipment that is more dangerous than they like to allow these days. You know, you bounce on these. The kid's head is right here, and they're really good at smacking a kid in the mouth. Although I think this is a little safer. A lot of times it would be mounted on like giant coils or springs. This is kind of mounted in the middle, so I think this is a little safer. This is maybe allowed in today's times, but yeah, my memories are these being mounted on big springs and just trying to get them to rock as far as possible. Like, try to really test that that spring. You got a little overweight for this. There's like one spring in the middle. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Started coming down here to the river to walk during the pandemic. And I know the pandemic was so rough on everybody. But just my personal, you know, just how it affected me personally, I didn't do good. Like I didn't handle it well. I was in so much disbelief. I would try to sleep as long as possible. Then when I woke up, I would check and see if the pandemic was over, like, and sit there on the news sites and try to figure out, like, okay, how's it gonna be? Maybe 4 weeks, 6 weeks max. We're gonna get back out there. This was kind of, you know, the beginning when everything was closed. Everything was closed. And just always trying to, like, reason. I was pretty much going through, like, the phases of grief. I was so terrified. Like, you know, obviously I travel for a living, and travel was shut down. Probably what was about 6 weeks that it was, like, completely grounded. And you know, I had saved up some I'd filmed a lot. When they started talking about the pandemic, the possible lockdowns, I went out and I filmed as much as possible. Which, yeah, I can understand the lapse in judgment there, that I went as many places as possible when the when the pandemic was starting, but I was panicking. So I wanted to make sure I had enough content to make it through the pandemic, which, you know, was a handful of videos that I filmed in Pigeon Forge. So, and then the day before the pandemic, when everything was shutting down, I went and did a haunted house. It was a St. Patrick's Day haunted house. I went out there. Masks weren't even a thing back then. I just went out there and went through the haunt, and people were screaming in my face and yelling, and people were joking about the pandemic, because we didn't really know how serious it was. I mean, some people knew, you know, smart people knew how serious it was, but everything was a big question mark. So yeah, I was having a rough time. I was completely grounded, wanted to get out, wanted to film videos, didn't know how. So I made the decision. I didn't want the pandemic to be part of my videos. I'm like, this is so negative, this is so upsetting. I'm not gonna talk about it in my videos. So I uploaded these videos recorded before the pandemic, just like nothing was wrong. And all I got was comments on, what are you doing? Why are you out there? Why are you filming? Why are you going to places? We're in the middle of a national lockdown. I was a little confused because I can understand both sides. One, you know, I was putting these videos out there without any sort of note that it was filmed before the pandemic, and people were seeing this and wondering why was I not home like I was supposed to be. But at the same time, like, I didn't understand why it was so confusing, because everything is shut down. So obviously these were filmed before the pandemic. Like, I couldn't be out doing things, you know, before, you know, during the lockdown. I wouldn't have been able to film these videos. So you know what, you know, but I take responsibility. I should have put a message on the beginning of the videos that they happened before the pandemic, but I didn't even want to mention that. I didn't want any part of this pandemic. I wanted it to just not exist. I think I was in complete denial on how long this was gonna last. And like I said, I estimated maybe 2 weeks when we first did the lockdown. 2 weeks, things will be back to normal. And I feel I feel like you never want to say things are back to normal, but right now, how many years has it been? It's been 3 years, and we're the closest back to normal. We've headed towards normal the whole time, and but yeah. How did I get started talking about the pandemic? Oh yes, yeah, I started. This is kind of how I dealt with it. I would get up, I'd eat my lunch. I kind of tried to create a routine so I wouldn't just wallow and worry about the pandemic. So I started making it part of my routine. I would come down here to the river. I would walk, and I would play Pokemon Go while I walked along the river. And sometimes I'd be out here for like 3 hours because there was nothing to do, nowhere to be. I wasn't used to not having nowhere to be, so I would just walk out here 3 hours. I put my headphones in. I'd listen to pro wrestling podcasts, and I would play Pokemon. And that kind of became my routine. And then I continued after the pandemic slowed down. When I was back home, I would still come out here. Whenever I was home. I would try to go out every day that I was home here in North Carolina. I would try to get out here and walk next to the river. And I guess that's one thing I've really missed about having a home base, is things like this. Just being able to decompress, to reset my brain back to normal. And I just haven't had that since December of 2021. I have been nomadic. I have been traveling, and I definitely spent time at Jen's. You know, that was, if I had a home, it would be the apartment that I share with Jen. But I had difficulty, like, one, it was difficult finding time to get up there, and you know, a lot of times Jen would just come out and meet me where I was at, as opposed to me getting up to Rochester, just because you know, Rochester is just where it lies in the United States. It's just not close to a lot of other things. I definitely enjoy the fact that I can have access to Niagara Falls. I can go into Canada when I'm up there, which has been fun, being able to spend more time in Canada this last year or so. But you know, it's harder to get to other places. You know, it's 12 hours back to here, and then, you know, then from here it's about 9 hours to Orlando. So, you know, it was difficult trying to, especially, you know, with the weather up there. It's the climate
is much more limited. You know, their stuff closes down in the winter for a longer period of time. So it was difficult to just live there and be able to make, you know, to make trips, especially in the wintertime, and then get back there and relax and unwind. It often seemed like when I got there, I would try to relax. I would end up sleeping a lot, and then by the time I was anywhere near like refreshed or calm, I never got completely refreshed, but any time that it was like close to me being rested, it was back time to get on the road again. So I would travel. I'd go there, I'd be so tired. You know, we'd try to do some quiet stuff, go out to eat, you know, watch TV, watch movies, but it always seemed like my next plans would come sooner, and I would have to get back on the long, lonesome road. And my hopes of having Jen move here, and my hopes of owning the house here now, is that that this will be more of a centralized location, that I can pretty much get within 2 days. I can pretty much get anywhere I want on the East Coast. I can get most places in 1 day, especially if I push it a little. But you know, I'll be completely honest with you guys. Like, I love what I do. I'm blessed what I do, but you know, the road can grind you down a little bit. You know, when you wake up, you drive 3 hours to your next location, you film, you drive, you know, 5 more hours to your next location, you get to the hotel, it's already getting late. All I do is I have time to edit, and then when I'm done, you know, there's no time to really sit around, watch movies or anything like that. I end up going to bed. So sometimes, you know, there could be weeks at a time where I literally do not have any free time, where it's travel, film. And you know what, I'm not blaming anyone for that but myself. I really have like a tendency to just push myself to the next thing. Gotta get to the next thing. You know, 5 more hours on the road, that's nothing. I can do that. I could do that with my eyes closed. Well, not with my eyes closed, that's incredibly dangerous. But you know, I always feel like that next extra step I could take is always there. And yeah, I'm gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna have to figure out once I get back here a better way to do things, a better way to you know, to be able to balance my home life and my work life, which I think that's been an issue for me, because I do love what I do, and I do take so much pride in what I do, that I end up going, you know, and in some ways, you know, I need to calm down for the video's sake too. I feel like, you know, I could use more time to research and plan, but I feel like I never have time to sit down and make plans or do adequate research. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe I could make better videos if I calm down and, you know, maybe upload it a little less. I think that's another thing. The upload schedule, I've never quite figured out what the upload schedule is on this channel. Like, for a while I thought it would be, when I first started, I would try to film multiple videos a day. Say I went to, the biggest example, I went to Branson, Missouri one time, and I filmed 7 videos in one day. I went down the strip, I went to every attraction, I bought a ticket, and I filmed a video of that attraction. I don't like doing that anymore. I think you get less quality when you try to cram that much into one day. So now I generally like to only film 1 video a day, so I can really put my focus on it. Of course, yeah, back when I was filming multiple videos a day, I tried to do a daily schedule. I think I made it 8 months of daily videos. Of course, you know, that's nothing. My friend Adam the Woo went 5 years with daily uploads. But he's, I'll tell you what, Adam is way better at pacing himself and doing things the smart way. Adam works smart. I don't always work smart. But yeah, I can figure out. I'll figure it out. Like, you know, sometimes I'll go every other day, and sometimes I'll switch back to every day for a while. I don't know, maybe it's, you know, maybe it's not important to have these strict rules about when videos go up. I just kind of need to find a rhythm. Find a rhythm that works for me and that works for you guys as well, because I love putting out content. You know, people tell me, you know, they enjoy, you know, watching my videos during dinner or coming home and watching videos with their family. So I want to put those videos out there. I would love to put a video out every day, but sometimes I just feel like there's not enough hours in the day to be able to make all that come together. This lookout platform over the river here. Now I remember, oh wow, okay. So it used to be, for years, I'd come here and there'd be a giant garbage patch right here. For whatever reason, I mean, there'd be like old tents, just toys, tarps, all wrapped in this big ball of garbage here. And sometimes new things would appear in the ball of garbage, sometimes things would disappear from the ball of garbage. But I always stop by and see how the ball of garbage was doing. But yeah, it's gone. Ball of garbage is gone. I'm almost sad. The local library puts these up where they take a children's book and put out the different pages at these different stations so a child can both go for a walk and read a book, so they can exercise their mind as well as their feet. You can see the different reading stations here. So yeah, you have one page. You can read that and then move on to the next one over here. And here's my bench over here. So yeah, this is where I would sit down near the end of my walk. I would walk the trail a few times. You actually can go on to, the rec center has a track back there that you can walk in circles too. So I would go back, walk in circles over there, or just walk back and forth next to the river. And then near the end I would sit down. I would sit down on this bench. I would take my headphones out, turn off the podcast I was listening to, put away Pokemon Go, and I would just look out onto the water and just try to clear my mind, doing kind of some mindfulness exercises that I learned in therapy to just try to empty that brain of mine. So yeah, I'd sit here, look out in the water, just focus on the natural beauty, focus on the flowing water. If an unpleasant thought or invasive thought or just a thought that was taking me away from the moment came into my head, I would imagine throwing it out into the river and watching it float downstream, and just sit here and take in the beauty. And this is how I kind of recharged. How I got all these thoughts in my head to just leave for at least a few moments, so I could focus and just feel okay just sitting here, not feeling the need to do anything, not feeling the need to plan a trip or come up with a new idea. Just allow myself to just appreciate the beauty and sit here with my own self. But this over here, this is completely new. This bridge across the river was not here the last time I was here. Neither was this mount here. It was all flat all the way to the river. And I guess they constructed this bridge. I don't even know where this bridge goes. Just thought there was like a field on the other side. But let's take a walk over the bridge. Oh yeah, this bridge is very new. It was dedicated on March 30th, 2023. That was just last month. So where is it? Where is it that this bridge goes? And the bridge goes to absolutely nowhere. There's like a field here, but yeah, they haven't built anything on the other side. They haven't even really built a way to get down from the bridge. I think that is a At least it was. I think that was a soccer field there. I remember people over there playing soccer. But yeah, never been to this side of the river before. So I guess that they'll probably be building more trail, more walking area here. But for now, I guess we will just have to wait and enjoy the bridge for what it is. A bridge to nowhere. And I want to apologize if this video was a little strange. It was kind of meandering, you know. I guess I had a lot in my brain, a lot of thoughts in my head. It was a big step, big step. I know it sounds silly because I already own the house, but now I own it by myself. It's a big step, and it's not the last step. I'm not moving back in yet. Sometime at the end of summer. I don't know. Because it's kind of, end of summer is kind of when almost my busiest season starts. You know, September, October, that's haunt season. So I don't know. Well, I'll do my best. I always stay very busy during haunt season. Every weekend I try to be out to a different attraction, a different haunted area. So yeah, usually my busiest month. I know there was one October where I think I was home 4 days in October. So yeah, a lot of traveling, a lot of moving around during that month. So you know, it'll be a process. It'll be a process getting fully moved in. And I'll keep you guys updated kind of on the progress if you're interested. Again, this video today, I think I was just, you know, I just needed to talk, and I appreciate I appreciate you guys being there to listen. It does mean a lot to me. The thought that there's so many people out there that are willing to listen to me, willing to watch me, to go on these silly adventures. I don't know why. I feel like I look out on YouTube. I don't watch a lot of other vlogs because when you're doing vlogs all day, you don't want to necessarily go home at the end of the night and watch more vlogs because that's what you've been doing all day. But I don't know, I see other vloggers out there. I feel like they have better personalities. I feel like they're better at editing. I feel like they have better camera equipment. But for whatever reason, you guys, my viewers, you chose to watch me. You may be watching other vloggers as well, but you've taken that time out of your day to watch one of my videos. My big bloated vlogs that I've been putting out. I know they've been big. I've just been, I don't know. I just decided at one point to just let the videos be as big as they want to be, just as big as they turn out. I film what I find interesting, and then that's the vlog, that's the video. So I know some of you, I don't know, I'm sure some of you wish the videos were shorter. Maybe some of you like them long, but I'm just putting out, I'm letting the vlogs be the vlogs. That's the best explanation I have. I never set out to make the vlogs bigger. They just started getting bigger. But I do appreciate it. I know, you know, that's time out of your day. You could be doing anything. Not only online, you know, there's a billion different channels on YouTube. There's a billion different channels on TV. You could be out fishing. You could be doing a number of things in your spare time. And I am forever grateful that you choose to spend some of that free time here on this channel. And I promise I will continue to try to make it interesting, continue to try to find fun and interesting places to visit. You know, I've had some plans the past few years that have been kind of falling to the wayside. A big one is finishing out the 50 states, going to Alaska, going to Hawaii. But things, you know, with the divorce, with the house, it's just been difficult to plan trips like that. So hopefully once I get settled in, I can start looking at some of these larger goals and knocking them out. Maybe next year, kind of come to the channel with a fresh perspective and see some of these big things that I want to do. But thank you guys so much. I think I'm rambling. I think I was trying to do my outro and I just started talking about 1,000 other things. I guess I got 1,000 things on my mind, but thank you. I appreciate it. You guys mean the world to me. Without you, I would, I don't know where I would be. I don't know if I'd still be doing CPS. I don't know if I'd be living under a bridge somewhere. I just don't know. But thank you for letting me do what I do, because I do love it. And thank you. And until next time, this one's in the bag.